Deb Helfrich, hashtag redheaded She-Hulk. That is the most excruciating thumbnail ever taken. And y'all deserve to understand the embodiment. I thought the picture was taken, it was circling around, and then there was a hiccup on the internet. And you got the takeaway of I'm a traumatized child. And a 52-year-old woman whose crimes amount to two things: being traditionally built and being an overly complex communicator. Is that slow enough for y'all's freaking attention? Do you hear Ms. Jill Scott? Go on and hate on me. If I could give you the world on a silver platter, would it even matter? You'd still be mad at me. If I could find in all this a dozen roses that I will give to you, you'd still be miserable. In reality, I'm gonna be who I be. Because for the lies that you bought, turn as you may, but I say, ain't up to you. Hate on me, haters, now or later. Go ahead and hate on me, haters. Look it. Fearless, vulnerable, smart as Einstein. Days from dying. From nothing but the inability to earn a dollar. Because my integrity had me opt out of playing by the rules of an inhumane system. And in that swimming against the tide, I never got to drift with community. The only family I really ever knew were my friends at Carnegie Mellon. And when I figured out how to start reversing my mold toxicity, which is a complex, rewiring a brain is not that easy. And I'm neurocomplex, no question. But why does it seem like people keep saying they understand me, that I need their help to stay alive? They say they will help me, and then they don't. Meanwhile, 800,000 tweets a day. This must stop. This must stop. 1,000,005 tweets. It's going to go on for a long time. It's really complex. We don't know how to fix it. 8 million. Fuck yous. One Deb going, well, whiteness is a combination of white supremacy and the delusion of white superiority. And we've got to tackle both. I don't know what to do about the criminals, but I do know what to do about the tiki torch whites that raised me. I do know what to do about corporate America that neglected me. I do know what to do to talk to the intelligent people in a way that they stop being zombies. I know the way to talk to everyone around the globe about life-centric thinking. This is why ultimately the elite and the powerful and the billionaires will seek my counsel. Because it's just a matter of a few strategic collaborators. And people will see that I am Ms. Inclusivity. I am philosophically able to start to ask better questions through combining my lived experience with somebody's in Botswana, with knowing an actual Fiji Islander who reached out to me in the week of George Floyd's death, sharing a post about love. Hadn't talked to him, commented LinkedIn with him for a couple years. You can't succeed at social media if you're making global friends. If the rules are that people need to like your post in the first 20 minutes, and your network is comprised of people in every time zone, I am scared to motherfucking death. And yet I work. Unpaid. Misunderstood. Rejected. In my heart-filled offers to collaborate with people. So start the process. Yes, I can only be creative right now. I got a little brain situation, right? But this creativity is the most priceless skill on the planet. I'm blockchaining my NFT art here, there, everywhere. While LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube Live. Jill Scott. Help a redheaded sister out. Now, by the way, we got peoples in common from North Philly. We got 1 degree of separation with Lamont Rucker. And why wouldn't somebody who enjoyed your on-screen romance as somebody traditionally built go, well, how can I mix these pieces up in a new way to demonstrate racial harmony as midlife adults, creative partners, 2 exquisitely successful people and a nearly dead-ass failure? How does that nearly dead-ass failure in a world of pandemic constraints, solve problem after problem after problem that is not getting solved because she's facing it alone and knows nothing but chronic neglect from humanity. Because she's large and smart. Really? Now, we're not centering my white privilege right this very moment. We can. Happy to go there. But what we're doing is saying, what I want to do is say, if it can happen, imagine the burden of all of the rest of these hurdles of systemic racism. Imagine that I'm the Trojan horse to disrupt whiteness. The people who can feel love. There's what I needed to say before I went to bed. You know, I'm using the strategy of using love to conquer hate. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. And I would like to fall in love with one of y'all. Now, as I said, it's ready for bed. You see, let me tie this all up together as the marvelous stand-up philosopher I am. I got improvisational skills like a motherfucker. My improv is so skillful, it takes Dave Chappelle to be getting this. Right now, because I'm just practicing, I'm just learning. And so it's like, again, the maestro can hear the amateur has talent. Still got to work on things. But it's like all the rest of y'all just like, oh, give me a chance. Clearly my heart is in the motherfucking right place. So I go on a bit. I did forget my tithing. I'm so traumatized by creating and having nobody give me an intelligible note back. If I could do other work, I'd be doing it. Nobody sees me to do other work any more than they see me doing my own work. So I do my own work because my own work is world evolving. My other people's work puts money in the bank account of whiteness. You see, help me not die before I get to disrupt whiteness, because whiteness is the only one that pays. I mean, not me, not whiteness doesn't pay anyone who doesn't lobotomize themselves, who doesn't disembody themselves. And I have lost where I was going to tie it all together. Because my life is really in danger. And yesterday, I spent 4 hours with somebody who said they would help me. Today they said, it's not my destiny to help you stay alive. I don't have time to care if you live or die. because it feels like well, I don't really know. The person who I thought was going to help me, and it said they were, then says, and I was going to help them. There was an exchange going on of creativity, of building right livelihoods, of talking through all this, getting through everything that sets the limits, and having somebody to dialogue with who could see the potential of this grand vision, who wouldn't keep limiting it and saying, how are you going to make a living? Capitalism has forced, stolen, and enslaved labor from its inception. We will not defeat racism until we see that it exists. To enable an economic system that allows the few to disregard the value of human lives of the many. Harmony, y'all.